Hey, this week as the nation somberly and soberly remembered the horrific terrorist attacks of 9/11 some 18 years ago, the New York Times, once a legitimate newspaper nicknamed the Gray Lady and the paper of record, said that it was a day in which airplanes took aim and brought down the World Trade Center. Now, that kind of idiotic abuse of words is why I often call that paper the New York Slimes. Folks, airplanes don't take aim. Airplanes don't have brains that give them the moral judgment to fly into fully occupied buildings to murder over 3,000 people in cold blood. Airplanes only do what people direct them to do. And on that day, Islamic radicals hijacked the planes and they used the planes as weapons. And that the New York Times couldn't bring itself to say that Islamic terrorists took aim at the World Trade Center is a good reason that its credibility is worthless and its influence is about as significant as leftover salad. Now, it's the same type of argument that we hear from them and other gun control advocates that we need to get rid of guns because the guns killed people. Actually, people killed people. Guns were perhaps the weapon, yes, but a person had to pull the trigger. And so the bigger and more complicated question is, why did a person use the gun to kill other people? And if the gun hadn't been available, would the person have used a bomb, a knife, or maybe a truck filled with explosives, such as happened in the Oklahoma City bombing? Now, we didn't ban airplanes after 9/11 or restrict how much fuel they could carry in their tanks or limit the size of planes to small propeller-driven planes. We turned our focus on the people who concocted and carried out the cowardly attack on innocent civilians. Now, there is no single answer as to why some people become mass murderers. There just isn't. The shooter in El Paso appeared to be an extreme racist who hated Hispanic people, and as it turned out, he also hated Donald Trump as well. But the shooter in Dayton, Ohio was a far-left liberal. He supported Elizabeth Warren. The media tried to falsely tie the El Paso shooter to President Trump, but ignored the Dayton shooter's love of Elizabeth Warren because the narrative they want to portray is that the only people committing mass murder are young white males who are right-leaning racists who somehow are influenced by President Trump. The common denominator of the shooters is hate, whether it's fueled by mental illness or not. And many of these deranged individuals are on some type of psychotropic drug. Most of the proposals pushed to do something by politicians and activists, they're always aimed at restricting or punishing the very people who have broken no laws and pose no threat to society. Hey, I'm all for any measure that can be proven to lessen mass murder. But we've already got laws that prohibit mass murder, or any murder for that matter. So why don't we just tell all the potential mass murderers they can't do that? Let's solve it. I'll tell you why, because a criminal doesn't respect the laws we have. It's absurd to think that he or she will respect the laws that we create. At some point, we need to address the deeper problem, which isn't the weapon, but the godless world that we have created that has devalued human life, destroyed self-respect and respect of others, and has given people a sense of emptiness and no fear of being held accountable to God or to others for their actions of destructions. Folks, we can blame and ban planes or guns, or we can look inward and try to reconnect the creation with the Creator and reconcile sinners with the Savior. But the New York Times will never tell us that that is an answer. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, then subscribe, and hit the notification bell below. Now, if you didn't like it, you ought to find a Ben Shapiro video to detox you with more facts.